During our visit in Minneapolis, our friend Anna reached out to us. She'd been following us on Instagram for a while and invited us to come and observe the Midwest Corn Alps cross-country paragliding competition. And so we headed out there to join the competition and observed while we were there. And it was a really interesting experience to be able to see these pilots soar through the skies, seeming so gracefully, yet with such power as well. And it was a neat experience. We got to see them fly and all sorts of things. We got to observe portions where they were getting instruction and setting up the pieces of the competition. And I was so interested in how they got up in the air, which was via the trucks that towed them up via winches. And so I took the opportunity to jump into one of the towing trucks with one of the drivers and learn a little bit about how it's towed up and what it's like, and included some of that video here. It's such a neat experience that I wanted to share it. There he goes. And we are going to follow in just a minute. I'm in a tow vehicle with a winch right there. 2 winches actually, and here is the tension control for the winch in the back. And I'm going to get ready to launch other people in a row. We've got another guy here that's rolling out, and then I believe we'll be next. There's the Mama and the Rachel right there. Get ready to launch. So. There's another one up.
Gonna pull away with a little bit of tension, and then I'll just be waiting for your bow.
Tension knob, no touchy.
When I see that, when I can see the drone just kind of hovering on the ground. For a medium guy, 40 to 50.
So the winch is playing out the line there.
Yeah, so it's payout. So it's a payout winch. So it's paying out. And see how it's kind of going a little bit slow.
Right.
So normally I go like 25 to 30. Minus whatever winds.
Because you don't want to go too much or too less, right?
If you go too much, what it does is you get to the end of your tow road sooner, and so they don't get as high a tow. They can't feel any difference. But if you go too less, they'll start overtaking you and get slack on the line.
Okay.
So right now I'm going about 32 miles an hour because he's on a little bit faster wing. We've got pretty much zero wind.
Right, so you gotta make it all yourself. You must have your mirror tilted because I can't see him at all. There's the line going into the... Oh, there he is.
So what we'll try to do is where Andy and Thad are up there circling in that little thermal,
Try
to join him with them, and then all the rest of the guys too.
Right.
All in a gaggle,
So you can fly together. And when he pins out, does the tension adjustment automatically pull the line back in?
No, I got to stop and rewind it on these are a little bit older version that don't have electric start. Both these other guys have electric start. And so what I have to do on this winch is I have to cut the pressure so that it'll rewind, and then I can quick start the engine.
There's another tow truck going. Try and join those guys up there. Go over there.
Still playing out on the winch back there.
Yep, and that's about 1,000 feet per minute is kind of what we aim for payout speed.
Right.
That's 11 miles an hour.
How much line you have on there?
That's 6,000 feet.
About 6 minutes of tow. That's what you got. Ish. Get these other guys right
So
about
our start was 13 minutes ago. So technically they could leave the start cylinder and start on the race.
Right.
But the time is going to be an individual time, so there's not like
not a
first
hurry.
one leaves is not at an advantage. And might actually be
So-
at a disadvantage.
So they're playing in the thermal, which means they get height.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. So we're coming up to the end here. And ideally, I want to stop on the downwind side of the road so that if he were to release off early, my line's not going to cross in the way of the guy coming up behind me. All right, Jeff, good job. You can go ahead and release. So now turn that pressure to 0.
All the way to 0.
Now here's the line starting to lay down. Nicely timed. It's like you've done this once or twice.
If you get a little too aggressive, it'll just come in and
Rip it off,
break
yeah.
your line off.
Yeah, for sure.
Put her all so it's all ready to go. And then we got that.
There's the loop. All right, done with the run. Now we go back and get the next guy.
Go back and get the next guy. So it's 1:16. We started out about 1:12, so we actually had about 4 to 5 minutes.
4 to 5 minutes of tow.
On tow.
Not bad.
So about 500 to 600
And
feet.
these power lines are the reason we stopped on the tow road here. You don't want to go too far or else you run through the line. So you stop right short of that. So we ran power line to power line on this road all the way down. So we can get them up in the air as far as we can. And it looks like he took right off into that thermal right there with the rest of them. So.
Yep. And so if he wants to release off the line early, he can. Like if he were to get some good lift before we got to the end, then that's the way to go. Yeah, it looks like they're all dialed into that. And so we got another guy that'll join him. And with the wind being so light, it makes it nice because the drift isn't so fast that you end up moving away from the tow road.
Right.
So
Well, it's nice if you're coming up and there's already people in a thermal, you see them circling, you're like, great.
It's there.
I know exactly where to go, right?
Right. That's the beauty of having a number of people flying at once.
So here's another. He's towing and sending them up too. So you can run people up and down the road, you know, returning vehicles and people coming to the next one. So
Yeah, so technically my drogue was drifting a little bit to the west, so the next time if somebody releases early, I'll swerve over to the left-hand side of the road,
Right.
so that somebody else can come by me if they're wanting to go further down the road.
So if you got the electric starting back, you can just trigger it
right a second they release.
And it doesn't lay down a lot of line on the ground because it's just
Right.
pulling right in. Yeah.
Right. Yep. So here, it depends if there's a little bit of wind, you don't get that line laying down on the road right behind you.
Because the drogue should
The drogue will keep the pressure on it. Once he runs it out, I'll go to speed and then hit it. And there he goes.